Good. Great.
Hey, good morning, Santa.
Check them out.
And keeping your hands up. The first thing anybody goes for with no street fighting is to try to knock you out. One hit in the chin, on the side of the head, you're gone, probably. But with your hands up and learning how to cover yourself, you can avoid that. First of all, avoid the situations where that would happen, but that's not always the case. But be prepared. So always, if someone's in front of you, and there's a possibility of confrontation, first of all, keep your distance, establish your territory, and be firm. Fluid in your movement and the way you address it. But don't leave your hands. If you have to bring your hands from here to here, it's too late. Hands here, you can block, you can maneuver, you can do many things. Does that make sense? Okay, stand up please. Okay. Each knee, 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 stop. In my teaching, I go through different phases. Every year I try to, something comes in, a new idea or getting an old idea back to focus. But the most important, one of the most important aspects is your position. There's three things that I focus on. First is position, that's primary. Position, or balance, and technique, or appropriate response. Position, balance, technique. Establish your parameter, your position, and then you do your technique with the appropriate response. The reason I make a distinction on technique or appropriate response is when we're practicing here, we know what we're doing. Everybody knows the action, reaction, right? It's a cop. But freestyle, or in reality, it's wide open. And so it's very important to make a distinction on to understand the way that you do that. On entering, I like to do it 10 times. I always tell my people that if you're looking for me, I'm behind you. So, I like to wrap things up quickly. So, here, here. So it's this first part, enter, like you're doing 10 times, but just switch your hips. Pretty much the same exercise, but you'll find a lot of power and efficiency here. Okay? Practice just the open technique. So let's just do it. And just some practice here. Get your position. Here. Now when I step, I'm behind you. Practice. That's something different. It's human nature. We all want to go back to our comfort, what we know. You got to step outside of that, and try something new. And in order to do that, you have to do it slowly. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. Okay. So any new move, you need to take care of it slowly here, put your position. Okay? And most of you are doing good, it's good idea, it's not good, it's just not what I'm showing. I want to understand with you. So take a little more time here, you grab here. And do this way. You see where I'm already at on this guy here? I've already got position on him. Or here, here, or here. Yeah, so you can move into anything once you establish the position. Because you have a good place to start. I always say, Aikido's like real estate. You know what the 3 rules of real estate are? Location, position, position, position. Remember that. Try it again. All right. I will talk a little bit again. Towards any seminar, or things that I do a variety of things just to touch base and perhaps help expand their vision of what's going on. But I do a lot of practical application teaching. One of the most important aspects we have to understand that in Aikido, believe it or not, there is a team. Do you know that? Yeah. There's a team. Aikido to work effectively in the real situation is probably when they tell using a team. The important thing is not to hurt yourself in the process. Most people don't know how to punch or kick effectively. You know, there's a certain small percentage of people that do. But if you hit someone, even boxers with gloves on, break their fists. Right? So what's the best way to use the key? Very simply, reach here. So probably just a very simple technique. I'm going to enter here. When I do this, I always simulate cutting here. Now at the same time, I bring this hand right up the center to his chin. I can tell you, if you catch somebody like that, you will probably knock them out, or worse, especially if there's motion involved, you know, force meaning force. But it's an opening. Never enter without some type of diversion, because they're wide open. In class here, nobody's testing the word. No, that's not the process here or the program, but you need to be made aware of these things. I always say, no matter why you practice Aikido, you owe it to the founder to follow the principles in techniques and effectiveness that he laid down. If not, what are we doing? What are we doing? And he required effective technique. Now, granted, you have to be careful with it. Not something to do with shoes that you have to be aware of. The best way to hit anyone, generally speaking, is with an open palm strike. The power generates from the back foot all the way up to here. I have this and then Zanshin. It's very, very effective. Okay? So what I want you to do is just practice this. So here. Okay. This one just like a break his balance here. At the same time, this comes up. When something comes up the center line, like you do in United, you can't see it. That's why in boxing, one of the most lethal strikes is an uppercut. If you can't see it, it's going to get you. Yeah? So use it to your advantage. This is all I want. Please don't go any further than my opening. Thank you. Finish with the basic, classical United. Keep in mind, in a real situation, that's probably all it would take. But you have the others just for the heck of it, because it's fun to do, right? That's what you want to do. Yeah. Okay, practice. You need that. Pose with blending. Blending. It's very important. We learn how to blend. So here, many different applications that you can use. We'll switch to something a little more painful. So, in this movement here, I'm doing the same type of movement out. I'm changing the center line here. Hitting in a technique, unless otherwise specified, always do the complete technique. A lot of times we'll break it down and segment it, and that's fine. But you have to understand that what you do in training is what you do in reality. So your habits is to finish the package, take the whole package. Okay, so. Almost everything. If you see me do this opening, I do it one time, I do it a million times. It works here, 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 here. This. Okay, try that. Well, sometimes, again, towards the end of some like just show different things. This is. What happened? Okay, this is a sort of a unique yoke. I'm coming around here to parallel. Okay, so perpendicular actually to him, and it's take it down. It's a very powerful technique. So be careful when applying it. Around here and here, and I call it the puppy dog, you know, because practice gently. If you need help, I'll be around. This is a sort of innovative. It would be like practice out from safety standing. You just got out of the home, guys. And in a case like this where I might be, not yet killer, but it's like I'm moving to go somewhere and somebody grabs it. It would be an intimidation type technique for man, child, whatever, you know. Somebody grabbing somebody on the move. So what you want to do from there, stretch it out here, turn around, put the legs on. And when you can, I like to go straight across the shoulders. Now, this is, again, it's a little different, but first of all, you want to get away from them, and this way you're getting the extension. You bring it up, roll this arm over, take the normal medium grip here, and then just, I roll this like a laser beam right down the center. Okay, try it. It'll be around.
Show me knee, right? Touch your knee, right?
Okay, very much. Oliver, Penny's going to kick.